Alright legends, welcome along to a new video. Now we're going to be talking about trust issues in this episode, and I'm going to give you a bit of detail into my trust issues after we get through these tips that I've got for you. But all I'll say at this point is if anybody that knows me knows that I was married and divorced at a fairly young age, and everybody assumes that's where my trust issues come from. That is not the case. I will fill you in after we get through some of these tips to help you get better at overcoming trust issues and cultivating healthy relationships. Alright, so the first tip that I've got for you is to acknowledge and understand your trust issues. Recognize that you have trust issues and try to understand the root causes. This self-awareness is crucial for making progress. So number 2 is to reflect on your past experiences. Take time to reflect on your past experiences that may have contributed to your trust issues. Understand how these experiences have shaped your perspective and beliefs about trust. Number 3 is to practice self-care. Love giving this tip out. It's good for just about everything. Prioritize self-care and self-love. Engage in activities that promote mental and emotional well-being, such as exercise, meditation, journaling, or therapy. Taking care of yourself can help you build a stronger foundation for trusting others. Number 4 is to start small. Begin by trusting people in small, low-stakes situations. This could involve sharing personal information with a close friend or asking for help with a small task. Gradually increasing trust and small steps can help you rebuild your confidence. Number 5 is to communicate openly. Effective communication is essential for building trust. Express your concerns, fears, and boundaries with the people you want to trust. Honest and open conversations can help establish a better understanding and create a safe space for trust to grow. 6 is to set realistic expectations. Understand that no one is perfect, and trust involves an element of vulnerability. Set realistic expectations for yourself and others. Remember that trust is built over time and requires effort from all parties involved. 7 is to be trustworthy yourself. Trust is a two-way street. Ensure that you are trustworthy by being reliable, keeping your promises, and respecting other people's boundaries. Leading by example can encourage others to reciprocate and foster a trustworthy environment. And number 8, and this isn't to insult anybody, this comes across as an insult to some people whenever you give this piece of advice, but it is to seek professional help if needed. If your trust issues are deeply rooted or significantly impacting your daily life and relationships, consider seeking professional help. A therapist or counsellor can provide guidance, support, and strategic strategies tailored to your situation. So there we are. There is the little handful of tips here for helping you get better at building a bit of trust. Now, I'm going to fill you in with the story as with my trust issues. As I said, people assume when they hear that I'm a divorcee that it was all down to the marriage and what happened in there, the breakup and separating, divorcing. Never goes smoothly. A lot of hurt there, I'm not going to lie, but that is not the root of my trust issues. Now, I think at this point in time, I think my ex-wife, even though we are not close friends, like we get along, if we meet each other in the street we'll stop, say hello, all that sort of stuff, but we were getting on really good for a while until I noticed that she was following me on Snapchat, keeping an eye on everything I was doing for a long time. And I did a series of videos on something about relationships and how to know you're in a bad one or something like that there, and I might have said something along the lines that maybe offended her, so I don't know where she stands at in her relationship towards me at the moment, whether she trusts me at all right now. But I did mention a bad relationship at one point that was far worse, and it had absolutely nothing to do with my ex-wife or the marriage. It was another relationship after that that was just mentally devastating and so destructive. So glad to get out of that there. So if you are watching this, the ex-wife, I'm not going to call you by name just out of respect and privacy for you, those videos weren't about you. They were about somebody else. You know who it is. Anyway, trust issues for me, the full source of them is based fully in religion at this point. Church, all that sort of stuff. Grew up in a family home where we were very, very much into the good book. Went to church every Sunday morning and evening. I went to 2 Sunday schools on a Sunday at one point. Like, you know, just a full background of it. But that church actually turned on their minister. Didn't like, I'm not even going to get into the details of what happened there, but the man was pretty much, they didn't like what he was preaching. They tried to get him not just out of the church, but drummed him right out of the ministry and whatnot. And for years after that, I was like, I can't trust these people. These guys that did that were the ones that were teaching me valuable life lessons from the good book for years. And then they do something like this here. And interestingly enough, in that same crowd, it was the first time in memory anyway, that I seen hate and religious differences. Like Northern Ireland, of course, here you have the Protestant community and the Catholic community, and that there's a whole bunch of troubles in this country for the longest time. And again, these guys, Sunday school teachers, Sunday school trip one year, I was about 7, 8 probably at the time, and we were down on a trip to the coast, and we were playing about and having a bit of fun. And then we fell in with these other kids, same age, and we started playing together, as you do, kicking ball about. And at one point, like, we had refreshments there, like juice and whatnot. So I went over to get a drink, and I said to the guy that was with us, the leader, and like, can my friend here have a drink as well? And he said, oh yes, of course he can. Until he heard the kid's name. Now, it was either Sean or Seamus. It was one of those two, very Irish name. And when the leader heard that, his mentality changed completely, and told the kid to go away, more or less. So that's the short version of that story. So that was alright. I grew up, they fell out with the minister, kicked him out of the church and whatnot, tried to get him out of the ministry. For years I didn't go near church, and then I fell in with the Causeway Coast Vineyard in Coleraine, Northern Ireland. So if you want to see what's happening down there right now at the recording this video, the crap has hit the fan down there in a major way with one of their pastors that went to America, and they're going after him for fraud now. And a lot of the stories that's coming out about him and what he did, not just in America at this point, but in Northern Ireland before he left to go over there. So there's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of damage, a lot of stories are going to come to light in the next couple of months. It's going to be very interesting to watch it play out. But for me to come out of a church where, you know, trust issues from a small child, whenever you start to see your peers turning against what you always fought the war, and then you fall into this other crowd and you decide to give it a chance again, and then a lot of stuff happened down there. Like, for me, the breaking point, like, there's a lot of stuff I'm not even going to share, but the breaking point for me was when I needed to take the time out to get off the painkillers. Now, you're watching this channel any length of time, you'll know that story. If not, go back and check some of the playlists on YouTube here. You'll see my painkiller story. There's like 3 parts in it and whatnot. But yeah, when I took time out to come off painkillers, found I was dependent on them, they turned on me in a big bad way, cut me off completely. So that's where the trust issues are at 100% for me. It's just in modern religion and organised religion. When it comes down to that there, when somebody comes to me with the good book now, I automatically put them into a little box where I don't know if I can trust you or not, but you're going to stay over there until I know for sure that I can. Shouldn't be the way it is. It's a disaster. Anyway, didn't mean to talk for as long as I did about that, but hopefully this video helped some of you guys out. If it did, let me know, and until the next one, stay safe, and I'll talk to you all then.